世界排名第一，來自中國孫穎莎。
And here she is, the world #1, YINGSHA. The top seed has made it as expected all the way to the final. But seeds 2 and 3 could not survive. They were knocked out along the way, the wild card. The 5th spot for the Chinese women, Xingtong, has completely surpassed all of her teammates except for one. So, the net that will separate them in this best of 7 games match, which means first player to win 4 games to win the title. Each game played to 11 points must win by 2. So the distance here that they will go, both incredibly well prepared. Who did they beat to get here? Well, YINGSHA beating Zheng Yijing of the Chinese Taipei team 3-0. And YuanJia, the player that took out Wang Manyu and Kasumi Ishikawa, but 4-0 for YINGSHA once again. Xingtong over Wang Yidi 3-0. A massive victory considering how tough it had been for her. And then after that, she beat Mima Ito, the great threat to the Chinese domination. So, as players come to the table, they will check out each other's equipment in a bit. But here we have the coin toss. This determines where the players stand and who serves.
You win the toss. Receive service.
So, YINGSHA wins the coin toss and chooses to receive. So Xingtong will start off with the serves. A lot to look forward to here. One of which is joining me in the commentary booth, friend and fellow table tennis diehard enthusiast, fellow commentator, Fraser Riley. How you doing, Fraser?
Brilliant, Adam. A pleasure to be alongside you in the commentary booth. And yeah, MaCao has done nothing but wow, especially in the women's side of things. And I can't wait for this final.
Well, you're definitely not alone in that. YINGSHA, as you can see, the Sha fans there, the little devil, they've got the wings and the horns on top of their head, has been #1 in the world. And at such a young age to be so strong, 21 years old, really, of the shining superstars of China, the youngest of her generation. Wang Manyu, 2 years older than her, but didn't make it quite this far. Bruna Takahashi of Brazil, not a game. Yang Shaoxin, the only one to take a game against YINGSHA. Zheng Yijing and YuanJia of Chinese Taipei's team and France, respectively, were not able to get a game off of Xia. This is how powerful the world #1 can be, but the Xingtong fan club there, Xingtong Jiao, they will cheer on Xingtong, no questions about it. Tong getting stronger and stronger at 25 years old. The Oman Triple Queen, world ranked 13, but it seems likely she'll come out world ranked #7 after this event. Who did she beat to get here? The pride of Puerto Rico, Adriana Diaz from Utuado, Puerto Rico. Without dropping a game, Jun Ji-hee, the leading lady of Korea, Wang Yidi, her teammate, and Mima Ito, the only player to take a game off of Xingtong, and that was in a best of 7. So in all the best of 5s, she left no questions about appreciating the opportunity to be here as the wild card. Head-to-head, they've played 4 times before, and Xia winning 75% of those encounters. Xingtong, though, getting one. We know it's possible. Highest world ranking, #7, so she'll be equaling that, it seems, after this event, Xingtong. But what will the future hold? After beating Wang Yidi, with 2 of the top 3 in the world being knocked out already, there is a lot up for grabs. Points and prize money. The winner of this match gets $35,000 US and 1,000 points. Those are tough to come by. The loser here, the finalist, gets $27,000 and 700 points. So it's not all or nothing. They worked hard to get here. They deserve what's to come. But they're also going to be playing next week in Xinjiang for the WTT Cup Finals, the last major event of the year for WTT. So, again, a lot of points up for grabs. This should be a real fight, Fraser.
Absolutely, and what a month of table tennis we've been treated to with the World Team Championships, this Champions MaCao and the Cup Finals on the horizon. It's been an absolute treat. And maybe another treat witnessing these two battle it out. So repeat this match of last year's WTT MaCao Women's Final, which YINGSHA won. Let's see if she can repeat that feat here, the former Youth Olympic champion.
So it'll be Xingtong to start it off with the serves on the right side of the screen with the longer hair. It's a best of 7. Their fan clubs are both here. So Tong starting it off. Love to all.
Love one.
Quality in the open rally, still just the first point. Not too much to tell. That said, the advantage of having the serve, YINGSHA breaking her opponent's serve, can't ask for more. Down the line for the finish. This exchange is just the level that we've been waiting for.
These are the kind of rallies that epitomise Chinese women's table tennis, especially when they come up against one another, both using inverted rubbers, so there's no Mimarito kind of pimples to have to deal with the different kind of trajectory. I can imagine a lot of rallies like this in this match coming up.
You're not alone in that one. 2-0, both against serve, and now she's got the serves on her side. Xia.
Love.
Now I'm looking back at their head-to-head. When the last time was the only time that Xingtong won, and it was in 2020. So the Qatar Open was a major event there, a platinum. So under pressure.
I believe she won in straight games as well.
Yeah, 4-love, wow. Ooh, headshot.
1-3.
As long as the neck is fine and the ball doesn't hit the open eye, it's a good trade. Xingtong will take it. Ooh, in the replay.
Yeah, that really is a headshot.
Looked a bit like a golf ball in that replay by the reaction.
Good job it's not as hard as one. Saw early in pitch, but headshot shows more regard as well earlier on in the competition.
It'll be interesting for me to see how the tactics change here and what weaknesses they find in each other's games. Feels weird to use the word weakness just because they're both so strong.
Yeah.
But anything that's not their absolute best is, well, slightly weaker than their best. So they'll be looking for those places on the table. Back edge of the table. Xingtong's point.
No debate there, the faintest of edges. She looked, you could tell she was trying to slow the pace down, give a higher, kind of slower ball. But she did well, remarkably well, Chen Xingtong, to play that forehand out of the middle. They're not especially tall players, so not a big middle to hit into, and they can cover the middle well with the backhand side as well, these two women.
Quality push here, heavy underspin from Chen Xingtong, forcing YINGSHA to really lift to try to get the ball over the net. Chen Xingtong, the taller of the two, so more wingspan. Xia, fairly average height. Obviously, not average in her play at all at world number 1.
What interests me about this final, Adam, is that coming into it, Chen Xingtong's only ever lost one final out of 7. And the only final that she lost was to YINGSHA.
Ooh, and the plot thickens.
5-4.
And do you have more information about that final?
I believe it was the last WTT MaCao final between these two.
So, home court advantage for Xia. Good memories all around. That said, scoreboard, Chen Xingtong up by 1 despite losing the first 2 points on her serve. So Chen Xingtong will be looking to change the memories created here in MaCao. It's funny how that happens in life. Sometimes a rough experience might be a lovely place, but you just have bad associations. But it'd be a shame if someone came to MaCao and wasn't able to enjoy all the beauty that it has to offer.
Yeah, it's a city I definitely want to come back to.
Let. 5-all.
Right down the middle. In the women's game, you see a lot of that backhand-to-backhand rally speed where they're looking to see if someone will turn and play the forehand, as Chen Xingtong did there. And Fraser, why is it that in the women's game we see so much backhand-to-backhand?
It's just a less expensive shot. It takes less recovery time. Forehand is a bigger stroke. And because the women don't want to give each other too much time, they stay close and want to play the backhands wherever possible.
A fast game, this women's game. 1 up now, Xia with 2 in a row. But a good serve to set up that third ball attack, and it cannot be stopped. So at the second towel break here, Chen Xingtong suddenly down by 2 after holding the lead a few points ago. 3 in a row for the world number 1. That short game, whenever she's able to end the rally quickly, they both know that the opponent is good in the open rally. Chen Xingtong yesterday was incredibly strong to beat Wang Yidi. Nice change of depth there, bringing YINGSHA out in front a little bit to make it uncomfortable.
That's going to be key there for Chen Xingtong. Changing the trajectory as well, not coming through, giving YINGSHA too much pace to work with.
Let.
YINGSHA has a 45% win record in finals. She's won 5 of 11 finals that she's played.
All.
And you said Chen Xingtong, did I hear you correctly in saying that she's played 7 finals?
Yes.
And only lost once, and that was to YINGSHA. This is interesting.
Really, really interesting.
So just to break that down, Chen Xingtong is way better in finals than YINGSHA based on her percentages. That said, head-to-head in finals, it's 100% for YINGSHA. So this gets really interesting. Good quality push here, deep into the corner, heavy underspin there. It's not the first time we've seen Tong with that extra underspin on the push.
Into that question zone. She knows that Xia likes to step the corner, so doing it with a lot of quality means that Xia isn't going to be able to pivot and hit a very powerful one. She'll want to try and start with a bit slower spin, Xia, off that kind of ball.
Rocket backhand, the most free-swinging backhand we've seen out of YINGSHA. After a 3-point streak from Tong, they're going back and forth with these streaky runs here. As soon as it looks like one's taking control, the other one grabs the steering wheel. Just waiting there with the racket high. YINGSHA with an answer for every big shot that comes in. And as soon as she has a little bit more time, just pounces on it and really puts the pressure on to hit a winner. Nice change here, the serve. Interesting placement, Fraser.
Yeah, definitely. And then that forehand push there is so smooth. Short to forehand. You can see the dig in the wrist. Emphasizing cutting under the ball there.
First time I can recall us seeing Chen Xingtong serving from out on the forehand side of the table for something similar to a pendulum serve out here.
And a good time to bring in something different there. With hindsight, that is. Sometimes it doesn't always pay off.
True, true. 9 points apiece now out of the third towel break. Xia with the serves, world number 1. step around, ripping shot from Xia. World #1 laying down the law out here. Only one shot seems slightly softer in that rally, and it was the one right before the power finisher. So game point to the top seed. What a recovery, the third ball here. At least the receive was deep enough on the table that Xingtong could predict the angle, but Xia blasts this. The fact that it didn't win the game, impressive.
She tried to go into the middle. Xingtong pre-anticipated and just like a shield blocks it back. What a clutch shot that is.
So they will alternate serves from here on out until one player has a 2-point lead, and back to that forehand corner, Xingtong goes. Arcing spin shot, doesn't miss the back edge by a lot. And it sails long. Game point captured this time around. YINGSHA and her fan club going to be satisfied with that game one. But as you can see, it will not be smooth sailing. It'll be rough waters for the entire journey. 12-10, the extra points needed here. And the world #1, 1-0 up. But Xingtong quite close. She's right there. Remember, this is a best-of-7 women's singles final. So a lot of time for plot twists and turnarounds. But against the world #1, it's never easy. Game #2, Xingtong versus this player right here, the world #1, YINGSHA, coming up right after this. So these are the trophies that the players will be playing for, the bigger ones in the middle to the champions of the champion. The WTT champions, MaCao 2022. There will be 2 runners-up, but only 2 champions here at the champions. So, who's it gonna be? Xia 1 game ahead in the run for the tall trophy, the $35,000 US and 1,000 points in world ranking. VIPs here. On the left, we have Liu Goliang.
Second game, soon to serve, love all.
And also the MaCao CE and his wife sitting next to him. Front row seats, the best seats in the house for the distinguished guests.
Love 1.
Good start here in game #2. What are you anticipating we see from Tong this time around, Fraser?
I think more of the same, really. I mean, she was neck and neck with YINGSHA, had a chance at 10-all. But the vice Olympic champion just had a little bit enough. I think the forehand was the difference maker. Has the best forehand in the women's game, YINGSHA, and I've even seen some sort of Chinese simulation matches where the women play against the men. And she's even given the likes of Xu Xin a good game, so just goes to show how much penetration YINGSHA has. Do not mistake the cuteness for softness, because she's so powerful. Oh my goodness me. 3 nets in a row, back to back to back.
Just goes to show you how low to the net all these shots are won, and it really bites the net back, and back. This is like an airport rally that you could find maybe on WTT's social media.
Took the words out of my mouth. Brilliant.
Incredibly unlikely. The back back edge here, a little fortune for Xia.
3-1.
Very good against her own teammate YINGSHA. 56% win rate versus fellow national team players of China. And I imagine that stat's going to get better and better. She's still so young, so powerful.
4-1.
This is tough. Chen Xingtong works hard, withstands the big shots, comes right back into the table, and as she starts to take over control of the space, moving back in for the higher percentage shots, it's Xia who's able to defend. Much stronger start here for Xia than in game one.
How has she played that down the line? Are you kidding me? Look at this. Good switch from Chen Xingtong. That is a perfect forehand, quite a straight arm. Shining as bright as the sun. YINGSHA. Set for greatness. It seems more of a matter of when, not if, when it comes to her future prospects.
Second point here for Tong in this game. Still early parts of the game. Better late than never, and as long as they're still keeping score, there's still a chance. Long serve to get quickly into the rally, but flatter trajectory here. Less rotation on it from Tong.
It's almost an identical service motion each time. Chinese players don't really have such flamboyant serves compared to a lot of the Europeans. Barely ever see a Chinese player doing a high toss. Just the subtle changes in contact on the bat that make all the difference. The way they disguise it is so good.
Cracked out to the open forehand, turns from the middle, sees a little space there, and has no hesitation in this turn. Quick, decisive, and as wide to the corner as can be.
Even had a little bit of side spin on it, the ball bent away there.
It's amazing how the best players in the world can do that under pressure. Just add that side spin in the middle of these more traditional looking shots.
So good.
And when she's turned for the forehand, Chen Xingtong, she's been so seamless and smooth in that transition. The forehand has been worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, in the backhands, they're matching each other. But the forehand, I think whoever can get in the forehand earliest, more consistently, is the one that stands the best chance. It's all about what they do to try and set that up. That is going to make a lot of the difference, because when they have the time, they make those shots over 80–90% of the time.
Backhand to backhand they go. It's a 2-point lead once again for the world number one. With the second towel break, Chen Xingtong taking her time.
For me, the two best backhands in the women's in this event have been Yuan Jianan of France and YINGSHA's there. When she follows through, the racket speed, so much quality on that ball.
She was able to turn and play the forehand here, but down the middle
5-9.
of the table, Xia well prepared, brings it right back. Bit of a runaway here, scoreline. You talked about the expense of the stroke and how it's more efficient with the backhand earlier, and you could see really in that rally how little positioning was sort of lost by Xia, that she was able to stay very ready after both of those shots. Good scoop from under the table. It looked like she might have put some underspin on it, but Xia not bothered.
That was nice. Look at the angle here on the receive. Beautiful. And then goes long to backhand. And then into the middle. Everything is just engineered to cause trouble. Harassment, even with a push or a touch. Equally as a forehand topspin, for example. What?
So 1 game point saved here. Xia still has 4 left. That forehand, when she lunges forward there, moves in. Xingtong, quite decisive and quick. Serves back with Xia now to win it if she can. Top of the net and long, another game point saved. The luxury of having 5 game points is that you get a fair share of serves. In this sequence, only 2 of the 5 game points would be on serve. And blocked on the stretch to the wide backhand.
It's interesting, now we're seeing flatter backhands, not giving the opponent as much to deal with. I was just watching that serve of YINGSHA. The after motion of the serve reminds me a little bit of Wang Chen, the way that she circles around it, outside the body there.
It's interesting, Coach Ma Lin, you can see here from time to time, also incredible at that very similar after motion. He's also been working with a lot of the women, so wouldn't be surprised if there's some influence there. 2 game points left for the world #1. Now on the receive, it's Xingtong with the serves. The quality here to win it. What it takes for 1 single point. Xia with a 2-0 lead. Simply outstanding play. Wow. And it's only going to get better. That's the thing. They really seem to raise their level as pressure builds. 11-8, the victory for YINGSHA. So here you have it, 12-10 in the first. Could have been a crucial, pivotal game, that first game. Game number 2, 11-8, so a 2-0 lead for the world #1, and the player with the strong head-to-head, 75% of their 4 encounters so far.
Third game, Chen to serve, love all.
Players back to the table for game 3. Halfway there, YINGSHA, the world #1. Xingtong looking to get on track here and stop the train on the other side.
1 love.
Can't ask for much more after the first point. Quality push here to the deep backhand. What are you thinking?
Just amazing, isn't it? And she comes through that. It's so quick too. Quick, low to the net, deep, and loaded with underspin. Has all the mechanics of an absolutely jamming push.
Funny you bring that up. There's actually a video of YINGSHA with Bob Marley's hairdo. WTT social media from her Ask a Pro Anything. So she is jamming from time to time, the world #1. 1 serving 2 now. That cross-court forehand,
3-1.
it's quick and it is deep, perfectly placed. The most memorable points so far, I feel like Xingtong's quick pivot from the middle and that forehand deep to the corner has just been so effective.
You feel like it almost has to be down the line or wide backhand. Otherwise, YINGSHA is just in that comfort zone where she's almost robotic. She just reacts so well. And against the slower balls, she's pretty much unplayable. Unless it's shallow on the table.
Smart play, bring the player in, and when they're in near the table, send it back deep to the baseline. Take another look here. Xingtong gets YINGSHA up on 1 foot for that shorter ball, just inside the baseline. Much better start for Tong than in game 2. She was down 1-4.
Net.
Good look at that open wide forehand corner, trying to hit it with the other side of the racket. She's done it so many times with the forehand, but if she can surprise with the backhand, could be effective as well.
YINGSHA saying there to Chen Xingtong, yeah, you spin it. I'm just going to block it. And there's still going to be so much spin on the ball, it's going to kick over the top of your racket. And I'm just amazed that we haven't seen any loop-to-loop rallies yet. Anyone going back to lob or fish?
Oh, they're both going to do everything they can to avoid defense here more than blocking. Positioning is one of the most important things in table tennis, staying close to the table. Right down the line, the backhand comes out a little off the top of the net, but the fact that she shows that both wings here, meaning her forehand and her backhand, can be threatening down that line is going to really put some questions in YINGSHA in terms of where she can move and when. And after those 2 forehands, she pops right back up into the middle. I mean, it was so impressive how quickly she recovers from the forehands in this rally.
She's so good at that. A couple of seatbelt shots in there, the forehand coming across the body.
And the finishing shot a bit more shallow on the table to change the timing.
Seems to be the Tomokazu Haramoto's strategy as well, just from the previous point. The backhand cross-court, then down the line, switching 1-1.
4-7.
Getting in with heavy topspin that time. When you think feeling, you think chop blocks, hook shots, but you have to have very good feeling on the ball to be able to topspin a ball which doesn't have a lot of spin on it already.
Net.
Heavy rotation on this one, a tongue out from Tong for a moment there. She knows she's capable, holds herself responsible for this standard of play. Also, crucial moment right now. I mean, this is a must-capture game in the sense that coming back against the world #1 from down 0-3 just seems that much smaller of a chance.
Yeah, it's obviously not must win, but you feel like it kind of is.
Right.
It's be an Everest-like mountain to climb. What's making me interested here is the fact that we've seen a few more long serves from Chen Xingtong and topspin serves. It's like she wants the rally. She wants to get into the rally. She doesn't want to start the rally with slow spin.
It's also interesting because she's played slightly more arcing shots in that rally. A little bit more spin, a little bit less speed and drive. Interestingly enough, the last 2 points, YINGSHA going for the lower, flatter shots, and they've both gone net and out.
Yeah.
And now it's 5-game points the other way. Xingtong looking to level things or get closer at least. It's going to take 2 games for her to level, but getting 1 game on the scoreboard here sure be helpful. YINGSHA serving against 5-game points. And with the rocket backhands coming in right now, Chen Xingtong controlling the spin game 11-5, the most one-sided game we've seen yet, making quite a statement to get some momentum. After game number 3 comes to a quick close, it's Chen Xingtong on the scoreboard now. Game number 4 of the women's singles final with YINGSHA and Chen Xingtong. That game number 4 coming up right after this. Amazing the quality of cameras, how close you can get to the players watching this live. Now remember, no coaches on either side for the players as they are both playing for the Chinese national team. When 2 players face each other from the same association and representing the same flag, you tend to see coaches stay uninvolved. It's just up to the players at this point. Which also means they're going to have their own ideas out here quite quickly in real time in terms of being adaptable, in terms of recognizing what's working. And Chen Xingtong seemed to be very patient in the spin play, which was very effective. Last game, more than doubly effective of her opponent. YINGSHA now with the serves.
Love 1.
Both players' posture, you just can't fault it, can you, Adam? I mean, being able to come up the back of the ball a little bit more upright and then hunch over to get the racket, which can be almost sort of near horizontal sometimes to counteract all that top spin. You've got to do the opposite of whatever's on the ball.
It's crazy how quickly they recover. Not a bad look at that open forehand line here. YINGSHA takes a gamble on the step around. Not so many able to comfortably block this ball back into play, let alone down the line. Doesn't miss by a lot, though. Good finishing pose from Xingtong. First time in some time we've seen that rocket backhand come out where there's spin and speed to finish the point. Off of the side of YINGSHA, of course. Oh, look at that last one. It was just that much more quality. Oh, you can even see it in the replay. It just feels doubly fast.
And it's so compact. Really encourages all the players watching wanting to improve just to become efficient, because you can still have power with a short stroke. The way the game's changing and continuing to change. Strokes are becoming shorter. Players are staying closer to the table.
Now for me, this is positioning. Chen Xingtong covers the middle so well with the forehand, but doesn't have too many options when she turns. Just taking that ball a little bit later behind the body, suddenly you've got Xia on the other side, and it's just, where do you really go to survive in that point? You have to pull out quite an impressive shot to get in position or get advantage from there. Full stroke there, a lot of racket speed on it. But we don't see that in terms of body language or posture. I mean, when have you seen Tong finish a shot like that?
Yeah.
You have to imagine from another camera angle, it appeared that it was uncomfortably close to the back edge of the table.
Sometimes you can't help but wince. We've seen players pick up injuries, as well as the half-line, we call it the back breaker or the finger breaker.
Right.
Probably the most dangerous shot to go for in the sport, as well as maybe an around-the-net dive.
Dive. Keyword dive.
Yeah.
Whenever your body lands on the solid ground, it's generally a bit risky. You don't see too much lawn table tennis.
Take a look at all the scratches here on the floor. You can see where the players have been moving, what big movements they've made, small movements they've made.
And out of reach, the finisher. This is one of those rallies where they battle, come back in, completely change authority here. I mean, that shot right back, Xia's able to cover it from hitting the shirt. Look at the perfect angle, so much ground she has to cover from behind the table.
Furthest we've seen a force back, but it all started from that slower one into the middle of Xia. That's something that coach recommends you to do. Spin into the middle, get them passive, and then take them out wide. And the fish of Xia wasn't deep enough.
It just keeps cranking up the speed out here. Hotter and hotter, the ball doesn't break. Xia's backhand in these rallies, it's like they just push each other higher and higher to the next level.
Honestly, supreme. It's almost like they're in kind of a mutual agreement to continue the rally. It looks rehearsed. It's that good. But it's not.
It's like an auction here. They just keep raising the stakes. You see 100 kilometers per hour. Can I see 120? Whoa. And the step around here too. Xia's forehand is the real, I'd say, showstopper out here. Her backhand is incredible, but the forehand, she has so much flexibility. She's tough to predict, and a lot more force as well. I think we've both seen a lot from Tong and how quick and efficient she's been with her forehand on the other side of the table. So both players, when they can get them in.
4-7.
The slower shots that we're seeing here, especially in the backhand-to-backhand exchanges, are making a lot of difference.
Yeah, a nice change of pace can be very effective to break the rhythm, cause some hesitation on the other side of the table. Tong was down 1-5, got 2 in a row, then a bit of a streak for Xia, and now one more here. So they go back and forth.
7-5.
At 3-7, it starts to look like Xia is going to win. I mean, still only game 4 in a best of 7. So first player to win 4 games, but they're making it really interesting here.
Definitely. See there, the backspin serve bites into the table and surprises Xia. You'd be surprised how often actually Chinese players serve no spin. It's very hard to push a ball with nothing on it with quality, and it's hard to flick a ball with nothing on it with quality. And at this level, because you almost know your opponent's going to get it back, it's more about setting up the third ball.
7-6.
1 point game here. No timeout called. I think both of these players are going to wait as long as they can. It's interesting, after being up 7-3, here it is. I was going to say, after being up 7-3 and having 3 points taken against you, you sort of have to think, what would the coach say? Exactly. And right now, the coach would say timeout almost every time around this scoreline. So it'll just be her by herself, Xia. Both players in their corner. If you're newer to table tennis, each player is allowed 1 timeout in a singles match per match, up to 60 seconds. So this is the women's singles final, the last battle for the women of this entire event. Curious about the men? Well, look at this, rivals in just a little bit of time. The next match, Bong Zhendong on the right and Wang Chuqin, the left-handed one, on the left of the screen, warming each other up for their final. I think after a long and very competitive week, almost everybody is looking to enjoy the pool. So these two don't have a ton of practice partners right now. Wang Manyu in the background there training. It's amazing, even when players become tourists and they're knocked out of the event, they still come back and train just about every day.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the life of a professional athlete. You take too much time off. Quadri Aruna had a fascinating story before coming here. But fortunately, he's here, and he'll be able to play in Xingtong next week at the WTT Cup Finals.
7-6.
So back from the timeout, YINGSHA, the world #1. Still 1 point ahead with the second serve on her side. Never really got her moment in this rally. Chen Xingtong looking for that opportunity, playing it soft and controlled. Soft spin with just a little arc. Sha turned it up and took it deeper to the corner.
Players have to stand biased to the backhand, so serving into the middle means they've got to make a bigger movement to flick it with the backhand side than if you just serve into the backhand half. Wouldn't be surprised to see it again.
That rocket topspin comes
6-9.
in, and a very well calibrated, leaning forward backhand rip. Sha making the most of the timeouts so far.
Like a sheet of A4 paper, just rips
6-9.
Oh man, good times. The angle on this one, Sha turning it out wide. Any office punts for this one?
Goodness me, I don't know, but it's a staple shot, I guess.
Oh, nailed it. That was maybe even better than the shot itself. Amazing. 4 game points for YINGSHA, the world #1, to take a 3-1 lead. And just long, it is 3-1. The world #1, 1 game away from becoming the champion of the WTT Champions MaCao 2022. It could be a repeat of their last final encounter in MaCao. Chen Xingtong would love to love MaCao for many, many reasons, other than just being a great place to visit, but also a great place to win some table tennis matches. 12-10 in the first, 11-8. And then domination in the third from Tong, the wild card, but almost the same back, 11-6 for YINGSHA. She is 1 game away from holding the trophy high, $35,000 and 1,000 points. In Xingtong next week, we've got Sha, we've got the Olympic champion Chen Meng, the world champion Wang Manyu, Wang Yidi, the #4, Mima-chan, the greatest threat to the Chinese, Team Japan superstar. Baby Shark Du Hoi Kem of Hong Kong, Han Ying, the world's best chopper in the women's game. Big sister Kasumi Ishikawa, pride of Puerto Rico, Adriana Diaz, and a whole lot more. No need to buy it now, because coming soon, you'll be able to have it for free. So just tune in and enjoy. Man, table tennis fans really have had an absolute treat since the start of Chengdu, the World Team Championships. It is an absolute packed month here. October. Thank you, October, for all the TT.
This is as good as a month as you'll get in the sport, apart from the Olympic Games, because you've got the Worlds in this month as well. It's just crazy. What did we do to deserve this, Adam?
I don't know. We'll just have to be thankful and continue enjoying. Behind the table, world #1 finds a way to still cause some damage from way back there by getting the forehand into play. On the chase, too. Just one step. It's that strong base, the footwork and the recovery.
hoping the answer.
It's funny. There's one more point like this, I think Tong Tong would take a timeout, but the feeling there, just of that point, there was so much work put in, and it starts to feel like there aren't many answers left for Chen Xingtong, not the way Sun Yingsha is playing right now. She's got to take this time. Here it is, the timeout. So, in terms of answers, it might feel like there aren't any, but there always are. Hello, Liu Shiwen. Welcome back. Wang Manyu next to her. Team Physio there. Nice to see Liu Shiwen here. Fans seeing her up on screen for a minute. You could hear them cheer. It's interesting. It's nice. It's only been a little while that we haven't seen her competing. So the fans very well aware of who the predecessors are, the leaders of the sport, the world champion of 2019. Recently played the Olympic Games. So Chen Xingtong, I was going to say that when it feels like there are no answers, nothing's working, there's always a way. It might not be easy, it might not be something you're comfortable with or used to, it might be unconventional, like the word unconventional, for example. But it's there, there's something that can happen.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like she has to shut down Xia opening attack. She has to find a way to do that and get in on her own terms in this rally. I mean, in this game, this match, should I say. I mean, she's had a good season, Chen Xingtong, as VIPs. She's won a couple of titles. She's won a Contender Muscat this year, beating Choi Hyo-jo. She's won a feeder back in August, beating former European youth champion Adina Daikonu. But I mean, this is a bit of a step up, shall we say.
Here we go, stepping up and playing it out down the line here, Chen Xingtong. Touch shot, the quick wide angle. Xia quickly, not happy that she took the bait there, found herself vulnerable on the wide forehand. You can see her talking to herself. Now in this rally, Xia at least is in position. She's going to be a little bit more satisfied. That said, a point is a point, so Chen Xingtong sizing up her opponent. Teammate, but in this moment, opponent. So far, so good in terms of the timeout paying off. First towel break. Little reminder, we had a chance to see the VIP section there. We had Mr. Holad Sung, the chief executive of the MaCao SAR, here watching with his better half. The VIP section quite filled for the final day.
That right there is the beauty of what multi-ball can do and a regular exercise. It's just been able to make a quick step laterally, but still having, as a right-handed player, the right leg behind the right so you can transfer through. You can't transfer if you're too square to the table. You can afford to be more square with the backhand. And by square, I mean both feet in the same line.
There's just so much to learn watching these players. Really, always a table tennis masterclass watching the world #1 here, Xia. With Chen Xingtong on the other side. She'll be tested.
5-4.
I mean, the quality of rallies, it's not so long ago that there were the ITTF Star Awards, and when we look at point of the year, about 50% of them were Chinese women versus Chinese women. The fastest in the game, able to hang in for the counter rallies, the recovery, the physicality, the flexibility, everything. Gets her to pull the forehand from in the middle there. You can see that arm of Chen Xingtong saying, stay loose here. Don't tighten up as you come through the middle.
Yeah, it feels like the women's players sort of go into the loop-to-loop game less voluntarily. Can start really early in the rally in men's game, but it feels like it has to start with like a backhand-to-backhand rally and then a switch or something in the women's head-to-heads.
nothing to be done about this one. As soon as it comes up a little bit, she's so early to detect the height on the ball. That's the arc.
Wow.
Turns, she knows the patterns, gets exactly what she's looking for, and Xia up by 1 now.
Jaw dropping and nearly ball popping.
Ooh, down the middle of the table, sneaks the pass. Good early timing, one of the advantages of staying near the table. This one comes off so quickly when it comes in. Reaches out in front too. Again, watch Tong Tong's hand right here. It was just after, but before.
Yeah.
Was able to play the ball out in front, so the ball had less time to travel to her, and then even shorter and faster on the way back. It's doubly effective if you can take the ball out in front. Second bounce, a little fortune to go up by 1. This is interesting because remember, we're in game 5. Chen Xingtong is down 1-3. She's got her back against the ropes. She must win this game and the next 2 to follow. It's been a little while. I think this backhand topspin is very effective right after Xia has come in over the table, because she's not able to get back and fully in position in time to close the racket comfortably.
And a change of serve to float, no spin. Xia can't come through with the push as confidently against that kind of serve.
Back edge of the table here, Xia, much needed point, brings it within 1. Is that 2 in a row?
I believe, yeah.
Well,
the edge and then the net.
Right.
It's very tough for Chen Xingtong. You can see there's some frustration that needs to come out in one way or another. She needs to breathe. The world number 13.
It's funny, she doesn't strike me as someone who gets frustrated.
No.
I don't know. Very generally pleasant demeanor, Chen Xingtong.
Should just feel a little bit badly done by the table tennis gods, but...
Right. Only saying that to bring up that she's generally very mentally strong. Like, even after her tough losses, she's someone you can talk to. She seems to live quite a balanced life in that sense. For a professional athlete, anyway, representing the strongest nation in the world in table tennis. But this touch shot, big opportunity there for 2 game points, and it sneaks past the racket. With that speed, you'd have to imagine, I mean, even the most level-headed player would be kicking herself a little bit in this moment. The push long.
Adapting as well. She thought about the flick YINGSHA there, but realized it was too much into the middle.
So the last 2 serve combination of this game could be the last 2 serves of the match.
Let.
And it is now championship point for the world number 1. MaCao has been home to YINGSHA before. She's got a second serve to do it. The Tong Tong fan club, you don't hear quite as much from. Xia fans getting ready for celebration. Oh, and she saves championship point, Tong Tong. I thought for sure on the step around from Xia that was going to be it. Take a look here. Recovery from the net. That was the big shot. Never phased Tong Tong.
So balanced.
Yeah, she didn't look like she was sweating it at all. Didn't seem to be desperate in any way, shape, or form, just calmly keeping it in play with some quality on it, and now alternating serves. Here we are, deuce in game number 5. Little off the net, and the net right back. Xia with another championship point. That's one, and quickly returned. It's a she started it situation. Now a chance to finish it. World number 1. And we have our champion. Xia powers through 4 games to 1 to take down the wild card, Xingtong. And the world number 1 has done it again. YINGSHA absolutely crushing it out here. It was tight. Game number 1 came back in deuce. Could have been the crucial game, and after that, left little to be desired. Only game number 3. That was the only one that Xingtong really was able to lay down and convert, but no laying down here. Well prepared. Xia, as spinny, quick, and versatile as can be. She seemed to have an answer for everything.
She did, and she's, I mean, barely been tested this entire event, only dropping 2 games, 2 individual games throughout its entirety. Xiao Xinyang and Chen Xingtong.
Well, Yang Xiaoxin you'll have a chance to see next week as well, but 2 strong players to get 1 game, the strongest in the world. Let's hear what she has to say. The world number 1, YINGSHA.
Congratulations to Xia. Now you are the champion of WTT Champions Macau 2022.